Hey everyone, Chris here from Projects Around the Home. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Japanese floating bed. In the description below I've got a list of all the materials you'll need and the various sizes. Now, a bit of a Blue Peter moment. I've actually cut all this wood prior to filming this, but I'll still show you how it's all done and how you can construct this bed for yourself. So first off, you're going to need 4 large pieces of timber. I've gone for American poplar, so I quite like the green hue and the grain on it. It's a relatively hardwood, so it should be perfectly fine to support this. You don't want a softwood because that will be flexible. Now the piece of timber I've got a 5.5 by 12 centimetres. First thing you'll need to do is attach the side rails that your bed slats will sit on. This, in my case, is just 2 pieces of softwood, measuring 3 centimetres by 2.8 or so, and 4.5 by 2. And the reason we've got a step on this is because the bed frame is actually wider than the slats that I've bought. The slats are just straight from Ikea, but they work for a Super King bed. But because the frame is going to be wider than your actual mattress, it gives a bit of leeway. So what you have is your slats will sit on here and push up against this piece of wood here. This is just simply screwed in to your outer frame. Remember to drill pilot holes first, you don't want the wood splitting. So you'll notice there's notches put in here. I'll come to those later on. But first thing is just get your 2 pieces of wood screwed into the bottom on both sides of the bed. Now you'll see I've got these brackets, L brackets on the side. These are actually roofing brackets. They're incredibly strong. And then I have, I think, 4.5 centimetre or so long stainless steel hex bolts, which are screwed in. Again, pilot holes are all drilled for these beforehand, and then you screw them in. This will butt up and sit just like that when screwed in. And your supports for your slats sit neatly underneath that. Just a bit of a lip at the top, the side. Wood was planed when I bought it, but this is small soft sand just to take off the corners. Is all you need on this. Same on all 4 corners. So now I get to screw it all together. So in order to get the effect of the bed floating, what we have is 2 main central supports. So we've got one here and one over there. And then we have box section steel, which acts as our frame connecting the outside of the bed frame to these central supports. This is 3 pieces of timber, the size and description. Can't remember what it is at the moment. And what I've done is you either can route or use a chisel to notch out a groove here and a groove here. This will attach to our side supports. This is then screwed down with nice long hex stainless steel bolts. Screws into here. two on this side, just one for the long lengths. The bed then will sit on here. This is where these notches come in. So once lined up, you don't see from the outside of the bed the steel bar supports, but it'll sit nicely resting on here, and that's perfectly strong enough to hold up mattress and two fully grown adults. So you can chisel those out or use a router. I used a chisel, I didn't have the router on me at the time. It doesn't take too long to do. The steel itself is 2.5 centimetre box steel, 3mm thick, so nice chunky steel. That sits 15 centimetres or so inwards, and the notches in the outside of the wood, again this is for a Super King bed, sit about 40 centimetres from the one side, and again about 40 centimetres in on the top end. So now I've raised up the outside of the frame, so I can sit these on, and you'll see even from now it looks like it's floating. These are the two metal bars, same size as the side pieces that will run the length of the bed. It's also got a central support as well. This is just from Ikea. I actually sell this as a single piece, which is quite useful. That will sit in the centre of the bed on these two L-shaped brackets. That's what these grooves are, chiselled into this wood here. You'll see all the way down, because this is a U-shaped, so that just sits nicely, doesn't move around, and just adds more rigidity to the bed. So now it's time to drop these metal bars in either side and the centre bar in place, and we can screw it all in. Normally you'd flip this bed over, but being as there's just one of me at the moment and it's quite difficult in this room, I'm just raising it up off the ground so I can screw it in from underneath. But you'd normally flip it over so you can drill it in, drill in the holes. Bars have been fitted and screwed in. The centre bar just gets pushed in place and actually sits beneath these L brackets just to hold those in place. Just have these little bolts, washers and a wing nut just to stop it moving around. Now these cable ties are just to hold the slats in place temporarily. I will put dowels. Just drill a hole through here just because they don't line up with this. Just a little wooden dowel like we have on this side, just so it looks a bit neater. I'll do that in later. All the bed frames secure. Time to put on the slats. There you have it, one floating bed frame. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, just drop me a message in the comments and I'll try and answer them. The description should have all the measurements, tools and materials that you need, and costs as well. But yeah, thanks. In part 2 I will try and make some side tables. So little floating side tables will attach to the side. So hopefully post that over the next few weeks. Bye.